What's up, YouTube? I wanted to take y'all along on a top end rebuild on this little E-ton 50cc TXL 50. I believe they're all the same. I got a piston off of Amazon for it. This thing was just losing compression. It was getting harder and harder to start. My son would ride it for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then it would start losing power. And I did a compression test on it, and it only had 90 pounds of compression. So the spec on it is around 130 or 140. So obviously it's not atomizing the fuel properly. It was just time to do it. So anyways, it was pretty simple to tear it down. Just some plastic covers over all that stuff, and then you obviously take the head and the jug off of those 4 studs, and then boom, there's your piston. And this is your oil injection right here. I'm getting rid of that junk. Just gonna do pre-mix in it, clean the carburetor out while it's all torn down, and we should have a good little running 4-wheeler again. So I bought the piston kit off Amazon for $42.99 before tax, and it's from Hot Street Scooters. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of sketchy about buying a $50 piston, but it's just a little Chinese 4-wheeler, so probably the parts aren't that much. And I don't know. I tried to call these guys at Hot Street to ask them a couple questions, and they don't like to answer the phone down there, so we're just going to roll with it. I don't know. Maybe somebody from Hot Street will holler back at me on here, and we can talk about it. But here is what they sent me, minus these 2 nuts. New head gasket, piston. Already put the rings on it. These rings, you can see they have to be with the taper side like that, and there's a pin there and down there on the bottom one. So make sure you got your rings right. They sent me this. The only thing I can imagine, come on, zoom in. The only thing I can imagine is that it would go behind one of the rings. It's very thin, it opens real big. I don't know. I looked at my old piston and it didn't have one of these things. There's no groove for it, obviously, so I'm just not putting it on. That was one thing I wanted to talk to Hot Street about, and the other one was just the direction of this head gasket. Mine's kind of bent, but it's got a bevel in there, and I assume that goes up, but I just wanted, you'd figured they would put a small instructions in here about gaskets or whatever. But anyways, it's a cast iron jug. I mean, it's heavy, it's nice, looks good. You could probably port and polish this thing up and really squeeze some power out of her, but we're just going for getting around the yard. And then here's the old piston that came out of it. You can see it's all scored, been burning for a while. It's probably original. Oh, and the arrow goes down towards the exhaust. I figured it'd be the other way, but obviously that's where it pulls in. So the arrow goes down when you mount this thing. They did not put that in the instructions either. Like I said, you would think they would just give you small instructions and say where the arrow goes and about that other ring and everything. You can see the cylinder. I mean, it's cast iron, and it's just it's worn. So there was the 90 pounds of compression. The heads are different. Let me see here. And the old one had a brass head gasket. I kind of like that. I thought about reusing it, and I thought about using this head. This is the one they gave me, and that's the one that originally came on. And you can see there's a lot more cooling fins on that factory one. But I think I'm going to put it all together with their stuff, so if it breaks, we can do something about it. But overall, I mean, for the money, that's a pretty good little deal. I'll have a couple bucks in it, and we'll be ready to roll. I did get a new airbox for it. I got that off of eBay. This one was missing the tube, and some guy just had one of those small air filters screwed on the carburetor, and from what I was reading, these things don't run right like that, so I bought a new airbox for it too. But it was only 20 bucks. So, and here's the covers. This one goes up and around the spark plug. Probably don't even need that thing. This one, okay, no, this one goes around the carburetor. This one, there's your spark plug hole that mounts to the front of the motor like that. Just got a couple clips over here and one bolt hole. And then here's your big cover that goes over the side. And it's just got 2 or 3 bolts to hold it on. It was real simple to tear down. I think I had the piston out of this thing in an hour. And I just put it on the 2-post lift, which is awesome. I would hate to have to do this thing on my back, but I'm gonna take the front tires off of it, and you got all the room in the world to work with it. So I will post a video when I get it put back together and fire it up. I'd like to get one of the initial startup. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just to see how it rolls. So my 7-year-old rides the heck out of this thing, and I started to go buy him a new one. I'd really like to get a little Honda, used 90cc Honda, but they are so damn expensive used, and I don't know, for $100 I can fix this one. So that's the route we went for now. Yeah, y'all let me know if you got any questions about this deal. It's pretty straightforward, minus this dude and head gasket direction, and then I determined which way that goes just by looking at the old one. But arrow goes towards the exhaust, mounts like that. So cool. Signing out.